Competitive Life Challenge for event staff is 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 minutes each day, so that you can have 5 times or greater leadership capabilities by the end of the challenge. So on the 5th day of each of our challenge weeks, it's going to be recap day. And what I want you to look for in recap day are your keys. I really want you to think and reflect and really contemplate what was the biggest key for you. A key is something that unlocks for you. It's a door that opens up for you because you now have this perspective. And a key might come from me. It might come from just your own thoughts from the content we're sharing. Your key also might come from other people who added things to the comment section. I have a coaching client who is in a group setting with me with a bunch of other individuals. And he said, you know, Michael, my biggest fear of doing all this work and taking all this time is that it just becomes a memory. So again, that's why day 5 is always going to be a recap, because I want to wash over once again, like painting the fence like the Karate Kid, so that we can have a second bite of some of this content. Because just imagine what would happen to the competition world if just a handful of the competitions actually locked in on leadership, guest experience, and mindset work and incorporated it into their event. Imagine what that would do to your events. So here's this week's recap. Take a listen, and I want you to think as I'm talking, out of everything that we went over, and maybe something I don't read, what was your biggest key? Just rolling off the top of my tongue here. Leaders build more leaders. That was day number 1. Also day number 1, just because you're not a leader not in that role as a leader, that doesn't mean you don't lead. You could lead up, meaning your managers. You could lead down to maybe new people. You could lead sideways to your peers. And you can also lead outward to your guests. Day 2, we went over the storytelling gap, where we have the ability to close that gap of conflict and confrontation to getting people to go from telling bad stories about your event or about you to telling good stories about your event, actually amazing stories. And these small moments that we can make, whether it's an email, a bottle of water, a thank you, a handwritten card, playing something back to somebody, can convert these moments of adversity and conflict into amazing opportunities to strengthen and deepen your relationships with your guests. Day 3, we talked about converting I'm sorry's into thank yous, taking power away versus creating more power. Because so many people I see in the competitive arts and the arts world and the performance world and the athletic world, I see them apologize when nothing went wrong and they're actually here to serve. And then on day 4, we did some reflection. We said, well, we went back into our journals and we went, why am I doing this? What do I want to accomplish? And we said, let's find one thing we can be intentional about to live that. We also talked about there's no such thing as a perfect leader, but a self-aware leader at a competition is as close to perfect as you're going to get. So here's what I want you to put in the chat section right now, in the comment section. What was your key of week 1 of 5? What was the thing that unlocked for you and made you go, I'm going to think about myself as a leader differently. It might not be something I just said during this particular video. And like I said earlier in the video, maybe it's something someone else said from another event, or maybe another peer of yours from your competition. So put that in the comment section now. If you haven't figured out yet, I'm doing this because I'm wildly obsessed with mindset and leadership coaching, so that more people can show up and do the best work of their life. And in the competition world, the reason I went into it, I wasn't a dancer, a gymnast, a cheerleader, a color guard, none of those things. The reason I went into this industry is because I knew the younger generations that are putting themselves out there on the mat or on the stage. Wow. They're already further than most people, willing to challenge themselves to places that most people never do. Imagine if we could lead them better. So a reminder, August 27th to 29th, I have the Competitive Life Virtual Retreat. Would love to host you there. For now, I look forward to seeing you next week.